Welcome my dear students of class 8A and 8B to my history class. Today I am going to discuss about the contributions of Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Who is Raja Ram Mohan Roy? In my previous class I discussed in a shortest form about Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Raja Ram Mohan Roy was a social reformer. He dedicated his life for the upliftment of our society, for the upliftment of Indian culture and Indian image. He not only a social reformer but also a great educationist. It was he for the first time introduced Western education among the Indian people. During that time, many Orthodox Indian people and many Orthodox families, in spite of being rich, prosperous, had no education. And they did not want to be educated. Why? Because they thought that learning English was a curse for them, since the Britishers were their rulers. The Britishers who occupied the country by means of their strength, money power, muscle power, and political talents and skills, and they had become under the British rule. They had become people of under British rule. That image did not give them any faith on the Britishers. As a result, they did not want to rely on the British. That group of people and families always neglected the Britishers. They looked down upon the British and considered them to be the enemies of our country. That's why they did not want to allow their children to receive Western education, but insisted them on receiving traditional system of education through or from pathshalas and maktabas, under their pandits, under their gurus. As a result, they would not become a complete man. Automatically, they would become brute, uncultured, uncivilized people. But Raja Ram Mohan Roy realized that their bad habits should be immediately changed in the interest of our country and country's cultural heritage. That's why Raja Ram Mohan Roy tried to make them understand with various arguments that education under the guidelines of Western culture, Western tradition is good for them. That's why he introduced Western education among the Indians. He tried to make them understand the importance of learning English and modern science, the language English. He established cordial relationship with Governor General Lord William Bentinck and requested him to abolish Sati system, because during that time when the contemporary and conservative society did not allow one Sati to be alive and always forced them to go with the pyre of their husband after their deaths. As a result, so many innocent women and children, innocent girls, innocent women died an untimely death with their husbands. They were forcefully burned by the religious leaders who were actually the heads of our society. And there was none to protest that system. and wrong practices, because almost all people were superstitious, prejudiced. That's why this prejudice had become a great curse for our society. Raja Ram Mohan Roy realized it and tried his level best to make Lord William Bentinck understand the drawbacks of the act of illegal and evil practices sati. Ultimately, Lord William Bentinck truly understood the clarification against sati, the arguments against sati, and accepted the arguments of Raja Ram Mohan Roy and declared sati system to be illegal. So it was a great achievement of Raja Ram Mohan Roy. The sati system was declared illegal under the special care of Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Lord William Bentinck did it. That very personality, Raja Ram Mohan Roy, founded the Brahmo Samaj. Now, why did he set up Brahmo Samaj? What was his intention? Before discussing this point, I would like to explain another point. Raja Ram Mohan Roy was known as the father of Indian nationalism. Raja Ram Mohan Roy was known as the modern man of India, the modern man. And he was also known as the father of Indian Renaissance. The father of Indian Renaissance. So, short question may come from there. Who is known as the father of Indian Renaissance? Underline it. It was Raja Ram Mohan Roy who was the father of Indian Renaissance. And who is known as the modern man of India? Underline it. Short question may come from there. Raja Ram Mohan Roy is known as the modern man of India, who founded the Brahmo Samaj. Underline, Raja Ram Mohan Roy founded the Brahmo Samaj. In which year? In the year 1828. He was born in Hooghly district of Bengal on 22nd May 1772. His family was very liberal. But Raja Ram Mohan Roy, from the very beginning, was very sympathetic towards the needy people, towards the neglected people, the people who were neglected in our society. Always he favored them. He decided to improve the lifestyle of the people with modern system. He did not allow the old traditional beliefs and faiths, and as a result, he became proficient in different languages. He learned dozens of languages. Why? Because he wanted to increase the image of our country, India, everywhere, wherever he went for tour and for visit, he was accepted cordially because of his talents, because of his skills and speaking power of different languages of the world, like French, German, Italy, Russian, English, Spanish, Portuguese, these type of dozens of languages he learned, and he increased Indian culture. He increased the image of Indian culture in different parts of the world. He also made special efforts to study Christianity and Islam so that he could understand them better. He had great interest of learning different religious faiths, different religious explanation of their religious leaders like Emperor Akbar. Emperor Akbar had thirst for knowledge. He wanted to learn unknown things, the things which were totally unknown to him. He had great curiosity to learn it. Raja Ram Mohan Roy also was like that. He also received knowledge of Islam, received the knowledge of Christianity in order to understand them perfectly. He advocated the abolition of the prevailing evil social practices, and later on, what happened to him? He was neglected by our country's people. He was sent to abroad by the Nawab of Bengal. But when he failed to agree, the Britishers, to provide a satisfactory amount of monthly pension for the Nawab of Bengal, the Nawab did not pay any amount of money to get back to our country. So he had to remain there. These points are not mentioned in your book. But when you will become student of history in future, you will learn in detailed form about Raja Ram Mohan Roy. During the last stage of his life, he had to face financial crisis and problem. There was none to help him. His sister also was there. His sister showed interest to help his brother, but he was a number one egoist. He did not want to take any help from his sister. As a result, he had to face a lot of problem and financial crisis over there, and died, died not like a Raja, not like a great educationist of India, but he died of different types of diseases, like a street beggar. Very sad, very miserable condition had occurred there, and Raja Ram Mohan Roy had to face. Ultimately, his friend, the grandfather of Rabindranath Tagore, Prince Dwarkanath Tagore, reached there and buried him at the cost of his money, at the cost of himself. He wanted to help him, but he did not take any help from any Indian people. That's why he sacrificed his life. He was number one egoist. He felt sorry for all the Indians. And while staying in England, he died like a street beggar. Very, very, very sad. And next one, he published one journal. When he was in India, he published one journal named Sambad Kaumudi. And later on, being a learned person, Raja Ram Mohan Roy encouraged Western education, as I mentioned earlier. He set up a number of schools and encouraged Europeans to provide many facilities for the Indian people, so that they must show interest in receiving Western education. It was a Scottish watchmaker, David Hare, established Hindu College in Calcutta in consultation with Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Raja Ram Mohan Roy founded the Vedanta College. Raja Ram Mohan Roy favored the Western education, and David Hare also. But both of them studied Indian traditional learning system and favored Western education as well as Indian traditional learning system. As a religious reformist, Raja Ram Mohan Roy believed in monotheism. What is the meaning of monotheism? Believe that is only one God. Monotheism. That means belief in only one God. This is monotheism. Raja Ram Mohan Roy believed in monotheism. That means he believed that there is only one God. No need to worship many many gods and goddesses, because there is only one God. That's why he believed in the concept of monotheism. That means the belief that there is only one God. The ideology of the Brahmo Samaj was to discourage the ill practices followed in Hinduism. He took the best form and also encouraged the educationists, the people of India, to receive education, and when they received education, became a complete man, they realized that the contributions of Raja Ram Mohan Roy helped them a lot. That's why they had become complete man. They had become complete men of India. He took the best from all religions and brought about a synthesis in the philosophy of Upanishad. The teachings of Islam and the humanism of Christianity encouraged him a lot. His religious ideas and reform movements also inspired many people of India in course of time. That's why the role of Raja Ram Mohan Roy as a great social reformer will be later in golden letters, will be written in golden letters in the history of India. Please, my dear students, thank you.